First hard frost of the year came in the night and killed the radiator with it. No rain on the glass tonight, just my own breath fogging the pane and freezing there, so a man could write his name in it if he had one worth writing. She was already in the chair when I came up the stairs, plain coat, chapped hands folded in her lap. Not trouble in a doorway. Trouble doesn't sit that still. "You've been waiting a while, miss." Door was open, the heat wasn't. "I'd offer you a drink to warm up, but you don't look like the kind who takes one. What's your name, and what's it doing in my office at this hour?"
You already know my family, mister. You just don't know my face. I saw yours, though, down at the relief window, the day they read the list. You were standing at the counter when the clerk got to our name and put a red flag on it. The pharaohs ahead of us kept their room. We got the stamp that means nothing.
I knew the tray. I'd watched one name walk out clean and the one right below it walk out with nothing, and I told myself the arithmetic wasn't mine. Sitting across from what the arithmetic bought, I found I couldn't sell myself that twice.
My father's gone to pieces. Won't leave the bed, won't eat, just stares at the ceiling like the answer's up there. The marshals come Friday. And there's a man who says he can keep the room for us. He didn't ask for money. I know what he did ask for, and I'm not going to say it out loud in a cold room to a stranger. I came here first. I want another road. If there is one.
There might be. It won't be quick and it won't be pretty. And I'll tell you plain, miss, there's no money in your family for a man like me, so this one's on the house, which means I'm the fool in the transaction. Go home. Sit with your father. Don't answer that man's door before I come find you." She thanked me and went down the stairs into the frost, steady as she'd come. And I stood there breathing on the glass, knowing the truth of it. She hadn't walked up here to ask me whether to take the man's offer. She'd walked up here already half decided to take it, and the only thing she wanted from me was a reason not to. That's a heavier case than any bank could pay for. I took it anyway. The automat on the corner kept its coffee hot and its windows cold, and the two argued all night in a fog on the glass. I found Flynn of the Chronicle in the back, hat pushed off his forehead, a nickel's worth of coffee going gray in front of him. A man who owes you his family's roof twice over doesn't make you wait. He'd already found me a chair.
"Sit down before you fall down, you look terrible. I ran the girl's marker like you asked. That back rent of hers didn't go to any landlord. It got bought up quiet, and the paper walks straight into the blue room. Marchetti's back room lends to the ones nobody else will touch."
Bought debt, so somebody wanted her owing, not paid up. What clears a marker like that?
Cash clears it. You got that kind of cash? Because the only other thing that clears it is the arrangement she was already offered, the one she came to you to get out of. That's the whole trick. They don't want the money. They never wanted the money.
Cash. There's exactly one drawer in this city where a marker to the blue room comes clean and no questions right along with it, and I've spent 26 cases not opening it. Frankie Slim would have laughed himself sick. He sold everything he had and still died broke under the L. I keep the one thing I never spend, and here it was, the only clean road out.
And listen, a man going around asking who lends to desperate women, that man gets his name written down somewhere he won't like. I already asked twice for you. Don't make it a third. There's more. The marker closes when her arrangement does. That's days, not weeks.
Days, not weeks. The one road out of this ran through the one thing I'd sworn I'd never spend, and the clock on the door was already short enough that spending it might not matter. I finished Flynn's cold coffee for him. It tasted like the harbor at low tide, and it didn't help. The alley behind the blue room ran cold enough to see your own breath and count it. Jazz came leaking through the brick, muffled, like the room was keeping the warm part for people who paid. She was standing at the service door with her collar up and her hands cracked red, and she wasn't the kind of trouble that comes wrapped in perfume. She was the kind that just tells you the truth and lets it land. "Miss Renner, don't go in yet. I've got enough here to cover the marker, and a man inside owes me a favor he's been ducking for a year. 3 days. Maybe more. You don't have to do this tonight."
Put it away. I can see it's not a role you can spare, and I'm not going to be the reason a decent man goes short. You came all the way down a freezing alley to hand a stranger money you don't have. That's more than anybody's done for us since the notice went up.
It buys you time. Time's the only thing worth buying in this city.
Time for what? 3 more days at the same door, waiting on the same men to decide whether we keep the room. I'm not built for their kind of waiting. This way, my mother and the little ones have the room through the winter, and it's my hand that did it, not the county's mercy. I chose it before you got here. You just made it harder to be sure, that's all.
You walk through that door, there's no walking back out the same. I've watched people go in cheaper than you and never come up for air.
I know exactly what it is. Nobody's fooling me, and I'm running no angle. Thank you for looking, mister. Most men only look at the paper. You looked at us. Go home, get warm, and don't stand out here catching your death over a girl who already made up her mind.
The door swung shut and the jazz swelled up loud to meet her, and then went muffled again, the way the city closes over anybody it swallows. I stood on the wrong side of the brick with a roll of money that hadn't bought a thing, watching my breath and counting it. Somewhere a family kept their room this winter. Somewhere a girl paid for it, and I was left in the cold doing the only arithmetic this town ever taught me, the kind where you carry the loss and it never comes out even. The frost had come in thick on the office glass, the kind you can't see the street through, only the smear of the neon behind it, and somewhere under the floor the dead radiator started to tick, the way an old man clears his throat before he says something he's been putting off. It was warming up, first time all winter. I sat and listened to it find its heat, and I thought about who'd paid for the coal.
You're still here. I figured you would be. I brought you coffee instead of the other thing, Sunshine. Don't argue with me about it. Just take the cup.
Sit down, Dale. The family keeps the room. All winter, the whole lease. I checked the ledger myself twice, like it might change on the second read.
And the girl. She asked you for another way out. A door that wasn't that one.
There wasn't one. She knew it before I did. Her name's in the Blue Room's book now. Not a claim on a desk somebody could deny. A person, walking in on her own 2 feet to pay it down. Paulie always did keep his lights on.
You watched it twice. Once from a desk, once from the mouth of that alley. That's more than a man's supposed to carry in one night. You don't have to say the rest of it. I'll just sit here.
So she sat, and the radiator ticked, and the room got warm around the two of us, and I understood I was never going to be able to file her name anywhere. Not on a card, not in a report, not in any drawer that closes. There's a family down the block sleeping warm tonight, and there's a girl in Marchetti's book who put them there, and only I know both those things are the same fact. She went cold so the room wouldn't. That's the whole arithmetic. I'll carry it like a debt nobody will ever let me pay. And every time this radiator ticks, I'll hear her clearing her throat about to say something she never got to.